I'm Prince Olusegun Michael ADENIYI, and you can just call me Olu. For my international friends, I prefer to be called Olu, but the name is Olusegun Michael ADENIYI. You can call me Michael. As you see, I'm an art educator, also an artist. I'm in Nigeria. I teach in Lagos in a school called Caleb British International School, Lagos, Nigeria. I'm so passionate about art education, and I see art education more like a calling for me, not just a career or profession. It is more like a calling for me, and this is something I'm passionate about. I've given most of all my time, my life to art education. As we speak now, it's about after 5 in Nigeria, and it's actually way after the close of work. But I'm still here in school because of art education. I work hours even after school hours because of art, because to give my students more time to engage in artistic activities. So this is my mission is to advance art education in Nigeria and also beyond Nigeria, let's say Africa and beyond. And I'm been raising the standard of art education for everywhere I get to. Recently, I was just listed for the 1 million Global Teacher Prize, and I was top 50, and I was selected for the fact that the work I have done in art education in Nigeria, even the statements that was put out there when I was selected was for putting my school on the map for artistic excellence. So for me, I felt so fulfilled when the award came, because I didn't just get to that top because I'm just a teacher. I got to that top because I was pushing artistic excellence in my school, and for even getting my school on the map for that part. So I have been doing this. My students has won different global recognitions because of my efforts to advance art education in my school. And more beyond that, I have even integrated sustainable development goals, which we can also call education for sustainable development. I have integrated that and even core skill into my lessons. And now my students are not just creating art for art's sake. They are using art to solve most of the world problems, most especially the climate change and the global warming. Recently, we actually participated in a competition and also a project, and my students won the David Shepherd Award for the second time in 2 years. So that our project this time around was about advocating for tree planting and addressing the issue of deforestation in Nigeria. My students researched about deforestation, and we realized that the situation in Nigeria is so alarming. And we now have to approach it in the perspective of art, how we can use art to solve this problem by advocating to art. So this particular advocacy to art won them that David Shepherd Award all the way in London at the Global Canvas competition. And more than that, this year in 2022, we have planted more trees. It has even encouraged more parents to even plant more trees in their homes. And we are even plant trees around the school environment, both the trees of aesthetic value and commercial value. So in a way, we have used art for social change, using art to make impact in our community, in our society, even in our country, because our project actually addresses the issue of deforestation, which is alarming, and we are actually feeling the impact of the global warming in Nigeria. And when we plant more trees, what that means is that we are actually saving our planet. And and we have two ways whereby we can actually address or cushion the impact of global warming is whether you are planting trees or you are recycling. So most of our projects are actually about 80% recycling, sometimes 90% recycling, and sometimes 100% recycling. And even in this school, I'm known, even in Nigeria as a whole, I'm known about using art, using recycling art, using, in fact, if we buy new goods in my school now and they are about to throw the carton, they also recommend to bring it down to the art studio because you always find a good use for those things that have been considered to be waste. And instead of them impacting our society negatively more, we put them into positive use in the art studio. So I have done series of projects. Even there was one that was also adopted by the United Nations Information Center in Nigeria, which has to do with ending the impact of the plastic pollution in our community, and it actually educates a lot of people about the impact of just using the plastic, what damage is causing to the aquatic world, animals and all that. So I have even used art for my students to understand science in a way by when you are talking about global warming. Some of them might not even understand. Okay, the art is getting warmer, and art is that. So we created artwork to actually illustrate that. So basically, what I'm doing is to use art to champion social change in my school, community, and beyond. And I've been doing this for over two decades. And for this, I've also been a recipient of the President Teacher Excellence Award 2 times in 3 years in Nigeria. And I have won series of other accolades, recognition for pushing the learning field of art education in Nigeria. And even this year, I was also shortlisted for the Cambridge Dedicated Teacher Award. So I kept pushing, not because of this recognition, but for the impact art can have in our lives, in our community, and in our world. So I have actually signed up for this. Sometimes take me away from my family sometimes. Because it's actually my passion. It's something I love. Just like I would say, art is my second love, and teaching is should I say, it's like my life. So marrying the two together, art and teaching, or let me say art and education, has given me life and given me meaning for life, because my life has more meaning when I have given my time, my energy, my resources, even my money. Sometimes I invest so much into art, and it has actually rewarded me in a very great way too, and which I give glory back to God. And I work with a school that recognize the importance of art education, and art is made compulsory at all levels, the junior school, but it's when the student gets to the senior school, they get to choose uh, whether they want to still continue with art or they are dropping it. Because at that time, that is when they choose to be science students or commercial students or art students. So it has been a great adventure for me. And because of art, I even taken travel. I've traveled to some countries just because of art, just to share my art with people. And I'm passionate about this. My life, uh, you know, my life keep moving, as in, I don't know. It's like when you remove arts and education from my life, life becomes boring. So that is the best way to just put it. But it's more like life to me, just like some people will say art is life. So for me, I don't know what you actually mean by dimension, but if it has to be with available art education for, okay, let me just say like arts education is made compulsory at the elementary school. So at the elementary school, the students get to do art as creative art. And sorry about that.
Okay.
Sorry about that. My phone. So at elementary level, they get to do art education, general subjects. At the junior school, is also still like compulsory subject for all. So it depends on the curriculum. For like in my school, we have art and design, that is British curriculum, and we have cultural and creative arts, that is Nigerian curriculum. So we run two curriculum in my school. So for the art and cultural and creative arts, it is basically like theory, most theories and little of practicals. But the art and design is more of practicals. So like students get to engage in more artistic activities. So, but when it gets to the senior school, they is only students that want to do like courses like architecture in the university, or they want to become an artist themselves, that get to take art as a subject at senior level. So at the tertiary institution like College of Education, universities, so you can study arts as your first degree, also at master levels, and also at a PhD level. We have limited of the PhD, you understand, and even for me, the at this point in time, I just realized that the next step for me is to take up a PhD in art education, to be able to, I believe when you acquire more knowledge and when you have more interaction with intellectuals, and you get to get better, and you can't basically give what you don't have. So I believe so much in professional advancement and learning more and advancing on what you have learned. So I think that is a peak for the art education. Then you can do postgraduate. Arts in Nigeria is getting more attention now, unlike in the past. Like when I did art at that time, I there are very few people in my art class at the senior level, maybe about four of us. You know, the people actually believe that art is for the talented one. And even when you have the talent, few people appreciate that talent, because it is not something we believe in, something that is people believe more in profession like being a doctor, being a lawyer, and more parents were actually supportive of that. You can imagine I when I was about 2 decades ago, when I was transiting from junior school to the senior school, most of my close friends went into sciences, and few went into commercial. I was the only one that went to the art. Though I got to make new friends in the art class, but at the time it was so boring in the sense that it was like I was left alone, and all my friends are doing something different. So I was like, wow. But I so more courage, because that is what I wanted to do all my life. It's the only thing that make meaning to me. So the art dimension, and we have different arts. We have just like paintings, we have sculpture. But when we want to talk culturally, the art dimension that is available here, um, if you look at the history, as sculpture. So so that's why when we're talking about the studying the Nigerian art, you see the traditional Nigerian art are basically sculptures, and it comes in different mediums. We have the bronze, we have the terracottas, we have even the ivory too. Yes, and we have wood carving as well, and we have some that are also actually made of metal as well. So those are the art dimensions I started, and the painting aspect was something that was influenced by the Western world, because initially there was nothing like painting in Nigeria. There are more of sculptors and artisans producing crafts like textile, and Nigerian textile is one of the most celebrated in the world. And I caught into that trend too, and I for many years, even to now, if not because of my secular job, yeah, outside there, I want to promote that my artistic heritage, and that is in the print, tie and dye and all that. So that is why when you see me going for international conference, I would love to appear in my unique fabric made by me. So that is about that. So you have different art dimension, and we have a lot of people that are even going into recycling now, metal recycling, even tire recycling. People have been working hard, and it's so interesting. So that is what I got to say about the ability. I think, just like the saying, charity begins at home. So I think the best one I could talk about is the one that is happening right here at my school, Caleb British International School, Lagos, Nigeria. We have about 4 art teacher here, and we are driving and raising the standard of art education. And we have a lot of people coming to also learn from us. And if I want to show you from my background, I have to stand up a bit. Okay. If you look at my background, see, this is one of my recent work. Wow. I made that one in 2020. It's a big 4 by 8 feet artwork. And if you see what people used to sit here, we recycle tire. Yes, that. So the curriculum actually made us to actually explore a lot of media. And when you look at it at the background, that is the work of my students. They did to end the plastic pollution in our society. So basically, I would say the best art education example of this is the curriculum. One of the curriculum we are using, which is the British curriculum. I love that curriculum in the sense that it is strictly practical, and students can explore their creativity, and it allows that. So that is that. And
Sorry, Danny. The general curriculum is different from British. Is more theoretical.
And Nigerian curriculum is more of sorry. We have even histories. So students get to learn about history of African art, history of Western art, history of, and basically, when we are talking about every aspect of art, they want to know, they want to like see more knowledge they have about all this, not about the practical aspect. Even a student that cannot really do so much in drawings can actually pass Nigerian curriculum, but not the same with the British curriculum. But it is more of the skill acquisition and things you can do. You understand? So basically I would say the two has their own advantages. So these are the two examples of art education available at my region. And there are some schools that are even doing IB. That is I think international something. I think that has to do with the American curriculum too.
Mm-hmm.
So, so all this curriculum has their own advantages. So I would just say it now depends on how the art teachers have been able to engage the students, because there is a saying, the currency of the 21st century is creativity. How much of the engagement that is actually fostering creativity in these kids? Because at the long run, it's not for them. The art education is not to make them more artists, but to make them art lovers and people that can think creatively and innovatively too. Looking at a situation and bring about solution. I want to say like solution provider, problem solvers. You understand? So art education is not just about drawing; it is more than that. So we have platform curriculum, the good curriculum. But if you have to go for one, I go for the British curriculum. Not because one has a love for foreign things, but I believe um, some kids just want to express themselves, especially the ones that are truly talented. Not to be bothered about the history of this, history of that, though that is also important.
No.
The future of art education depends on all of us, and we have to be up and doing, and we have to be able to learn from one another. And one of the core skills of this 21st century also is collaboration. So, if we want to teach our students collaboration, we should also be able to collaborate with other people outside our countries, outside our towns, outside our cities. We should be able to collaborate with other people, and we should be the champions of art education. People should love art education because of what we do. So we shouldn't be taking the back seat. We should take the front seat by leading and leading by example. I have invested so much in art education because I believe is the future, because a lot of people have done, even the government have done a lot of things to put art at the backside. But if we want to make a statement, we have to come together. Even when we are not coming together as a group, even in peers, we can change the world through art and by actually advocating for more inclusive art education. Years back, I did a course with Microsoft, and it was about STEM, but somehow they hide art somehow, and there is a part to talk about STEAM. And I don't know why the course was not actually classified as STEAM, rather STEM. And at a point during the course, it was stated that I think transformative education happens when STEM is integrated with quality art education. The word quality art education, and it is duty of all art educators to give the children in our dispensation quality art education, not just for art like just do something, but art that we are intentional about, art that is solving problem in our society, in our community. It is very important that we take the front row when we are talking about advocacy of art education, when we are talking about the impact of art education, and we should also be we should practicalize anything we say. When we say art improves student intelligence, we should put it in action in our different schools, in our different communities. I have engaged so much in community arts education. I have traveled beyond outside the shore of Nigeria because of advancement of art education. So one map cannot do it. We can all do it together. and we should also be ready to collaborate with other people, involved in projects in our school in such a way that even when we're having an event in school, we can stage an art show. So that when people come around, they can see the beautiful work our students are doing. So it is very important that we all do more than what we have been doing about art education, and so that more people can see art. Because when we are talking about creativity, art is the veritable platform to harness the creativity of a child. So if art can harness the creativity of a child, even when we mention the word creativity, art is synonymous to creativity. So because of this, we should pay more attention about engaging our students in art education, doing more than just the 2 hours an hour we are giving in a week to engage them. We should be able to create more time, extra time for them, after school, weekends, and these are the things I've done in the past that I'm still doing, that I'm still ready to do in the future. So, my suggestion for them is they should not also give excuses that they don't have enough fun. They don't have, sometimes people might be discouraged because they are not getting the necessary funding for art. They should not get discouraged about that. They should just go out there to do the right thing, and they can also invest into it, their own fund too. These are the things that I have done, not just saying it. I have done this, and I'm saying, so when I was shortlisted for the Global Teacher Award in 2021, one thing that put smiles on my face was the fact that it was put there. I don't know, maybe I have the okay, I don't have the picture around there. That Olusegun Adeniyi put his school on the map for artistic excellence. But that statement on its own is an award for me, as in it's worth more than the $1 million of the prize for me, because I felt I've achieved something magnanimous, and it gave me sense of fulfillment, you know, and I have the pictures in my house, and I celebrate that with, though not because I became a millionaire because of that. I know the millions will come. So, but for the fact that I was being recognized for the work I've done over the past 2 decades, and continue to push that. So one day we'll get reward for all the work we have done. And there's a verse in the Bible. I'm a Christian, that states there is a reward for every good works. So our reward will come, but we come continue to do the right thing as an art educator, and don't let us be discouraged, even sometimes when we don't get the necessary support in terms of funding. But let's just continue to do it because of the humanity, because for the impact the art can have in the life of these kids. But in fact, for the fact that art can even keep some people to be happy. When some people view a work of art, even when they are sad, they'll feel relieved, because there is an aspect of art that we call therapy. Even in the process of doing art can be therapeutic. So, for the fact that art can heal them, because even in this world, in this age and time that we talk about mental illness and all that, I think art can actually improve on the mental illness of people. You understand? Engaging in the process of art, missing colors, you know, beautiful for me, and art education should not forget that the impact they are making when they give their student or the pupils, the chance to create art, because Art is life.